We thought ton 618 was the absolute limit. But deep in the void sits a 100 billion sun monster so massive, it shatters the laws of physics. We once thought we knew the face of cosmic terror. Ton 618 AM black hole with 66 billion suns was considered the ultimate definition of a gravitational monster. But the universe laughed at our limits. Far beyond in the deep void, a new king has been found, a sovereign that makes ton 618 look like a mere prince. Welcome to the Phoenix Cluster. At its heart sits an anomaly so massive, it challenges every theory we have about how the cosmos is allowed to operate. Let's break your reality. Ton 618 holds 66 billion solar masses. Phoenix, a star, is estimated to hold 100 billion. Take every single star in our Milky Way galaxy from edge to edge and crush them into a point. Phoenix, a star, would still outweigh that point. Its event horizon, the point of no return, spans 590 billion kilometers. You could line up 100 of our solar systems, and they would all fit inside. If it replaced our sun, its edge of absolute darkness would swallow every planet effortlessly. It would consume our entire stellar neighborhood, dozens of light years away. In silence, the most terrifying fact is not its size, it's that it exists. Physics dictates a speed limit for how fast black holes can eat, choking off their own growth. If Phoenix, a star, grew simply by eating stars, the universe itself is not old enough for it to have reached 100 billion solar masses. It ran out of time. Scientists were forced to create an entirely new classification. For this entity, they call it a SLAB, a stupendously large black hole, because ultramassive was no longer enough. How does a SLAB form? It isn't born from a single star. It is the product of endless cosmic collisions, a theater of galactic cannibalism, monsters consuming monsters, merging their dark powers over billions of years, until only one absolute sovereign remained. Phoenix, a star, is the winner, or far more chillingly, it might be primordial, a flaw in space-time, forged in the very first fraction of a second after the Big Bang itself, growing in absolute darkness, before the first star in the universe had ever ignited, a primordial seed that never stopped feeding on the early cosmos. The fundamental nature of a black hole is to destroy, but when you become this massive, you cease to be a killer. You become a creator at its core. Phoenix, a star, fires jets of relativistic plasma from its poles. These jets are so powerful, they pierce millions of light years. These jets violently compress the cold gas surrounding the entire galaxy. Instead of sterilizing its neighborhood, the lethal jets force creation. A firestorm of creation ignites. New suns are born at a terrifying rate. 740 stars, as of our sun, are born every year. By comparison, our Milky Way struggles to create just one or two. Phoenix, a star, is not merely a graveyard for 100 billion suns. It is a beating heart pumping life into its dark empire, using raw catastrophic violence to force the universe into creating trillions of new stars. We live in a peaceful era, a cosmic coincidence in an infinite stretch of time. But time will not be kind forever to this stillness. Trillions of years from now, when the last star in the universe has exhausted its fuel and died, the light of creation will begin to fail. When entire galaxies crumble and fade into cosmic dust, the universe will become a cold, dark, and eternally dead sea of absolutely nothingness. Yet in that total darkness, entities like Phoenix, a star, will remain. It will sit on its throne of absolute nothingness for eternity, slowly evaporating through Hawking radiation over a number of years, so large the zeros wouldn't fit on the entire surface of the Earth. Looking into the abyss of Phoenix, a star, forces a bitter pill of reality down our throats. It demands we question our own importance. We wage wars over land, money, and power on a tiny speck of rock suspended in a sunbeam, while out there a shadow dictates fate. A shadow, the weight of 100 billion suns, dictates the fate of trillions of stars. In absolute, eternal, and terrifying silence, the universe does not care about our existence. And Phoenix, a star, is the eternal monument that reminds us. exactly how insignificant we truly are. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. The stars were within our reach, but some of them now belong to the abyss. Let's study how it dies. Hawking radiation isn't magic. Near the horizon, quantum pairs are born. One particle of matter and one antimatter twin. Usually they instantly annihilate, but sometimes one is swallowed by the horizon and the other escapes. The black hole must pay for that escape. The black hole must lose mass to pay for the escaping particle's energy. It is a slow, cold process, but it is inexorable and deadly. Over an almost infinite amount of time, this leakage, this ghost of light, will slowly drain the entire mass of 100 billion suns. The process is so slow it would take multiple Google years. A number with 100 zeros to make a measurable dent in its scale. Eventually, the powerful jets that once birthed trillions of new stars will flicker out and die. Phoenix, a star, will cease its violent creation. The galaxy will fall into a silent, red darkness. It will be an empire without a sovereign, drifting without the gravity that defined its existence. The massive gravity well that warped space-time itself will begin to flatten. The universe will start to reclaim the space that Phoenix, a star, commanded. This countdown is the only event remaining in the entire cosmos. Every other physical process has already ceased. This countdown is the future of reality. That one tiny particle of escaping light is the final voice of a king that once held 100 billion solar masses in its grasp. Some astrophysicists believe the answer isn't in how black holes collide. The answer might lie in the first fraction of a second of existence. The energy of the Big Bang wasn't perfectly smooth. In localized regions, extreme density might have collapsed directly into a black hole seed. These seeds would be primordial, forged long before the first star was allowed to ignite, forged while the universe itself was still defining its boundaries. This means Phoenix, a star, might be older than light. It did not grow in the universe. It grew with the universe, defined by its first flaw. If this theory is correct, it means Phoenix, a star, didn't need nearly as much time. It started with a massive head start on everyone else. Both theories, the endless collision of monsters or the flaw in the Big Bang, lead us to the same terrifying, stupendously massive reality. While some astrophysicists debate its origin, the reality of its gravity dictates the fate of trillions of stars, ours included, across the infinite, silent cosmos. Every merger, every meal it swallows, sends a silent gravitational tremor through reality itself. A ripple that passes through your body right now. It reminds us that we are just a fleeting moment on a tiny world, in a vast and indifferent cosmos. We are within reach, but insignificant. That one small step was a giant leap for all of us. The stars were within our reach, but some of them belong to the absolute abyss. The mission ends with a splashdown in the Pacific. Recovery ships will be waiting as the first lunar crew in decades returns home. High-tech airbags will inflate to flip the ship upright. This is another safety feature the Apollo astronauts never had during their historic returns. Divers will approach the spacecraft and open the hatch, for people will finally climb out into the warm, familiar sunlight of our world. They will have completed the first deep space mission. In over half a century, they have tested the systems that future crews need. They will see things that change how they understand our planet. They will realize how lucky we are to live on this rock. Apollo came home as conquerors of the moon. Artemis returns as pathfinders. Everything they tested from the toilet is no longer the shield, is being validated from Mars. This mission is the bridge to another world entirely. Right now, 4 human beings are closer to the moon than anyone has been since 1972. They are looking out windows clearer than ever. They are not repeating history. They are weaving something new. They have picked up the thread we dropped so many long years ago. Thanks for watching. For more amazing space facts, subscribe to Planet Facts And don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated.